Welcome, everyone, to the Screen Chronicles. I'm here, as always, with Colby. I'm Steve, and we have a very special guest today. You may know him from The Last Kingdom as Cnut. Today we have Magnus Bruun.
Hey, thanks for being here, Magnus.
Well, thanks for having me.
Hey, you got it. You got it. So we meet Canoe in season 3, and right away we see he's kind of, as we say, stirs the pot quite a bit. We're going to kind of get into some Last Kingdom talk later, but first, just how are you doing?
Well, I'm good. We're quarantined in Denmark, so to speak. It's beginning to open up here, which is nice. Some of the kids are going back to primary school and kindergartens, and they're opening up small businesses like hairdressers and tattoo shops and all kinds of smaller businesses. And I'm at the moment in our cabin or cottage in the north of Denmark with my wife and my 2 kids. We have an apartment in Copenhagen, but we stay up here now, even though it's a bit cold. It's not the most heated place. Normally we use it as a summer house, but we went up here during this quarantine. So my son, who's 4.5, he can just go outside in the garden, and we've been riding bikes a lot in Copenhagen, parks and finding forests and doing adventures stuff instead of going to playgrounds, because there's just a lot of kids in playgrounds. So we're trying to get him to understand that there's this virus, and that means we can't hug people and we can't go too close to people. So if there's a lot of kids, we'll just go somewhere else. So
it's going to be an interesting thing with kids to explain, to get them to understand.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
We have adventure time. So me and him go out, and my wife is on maternity leave with our daughter, who's 7 months old. So she will have some time alone and to just relax with her, and then we come back, and it's pretty nice at the moment. And I brought this for the podcast. A new bottle of Suntory whiskey.
Oh, man.
So I'm going to open it now. I'm not an alcoholic, but I like a good taste of something when I'm doing something.
Good for you.
I'm
a little early for us, but
yeah, but you know what? Right now in Denmark, it's 8:30, and the way I look at it, it's always 8:30 somewhere. So you can just start drinking now, Colby and Steve. And for relaxing times, make it Suntory time.
So what are you drinking there?
This is a Suntory whiskey called Toki. It's Japanese. It's very good.
Oh. Okay.
I used to always bring back a bottle of some kind of booze when I was flying. So when I got to an airport, I would buy something. And then I started to work a lot on the Last Kingdom, for example, and I had many flights a year, so I just stopped that. Because I got kids at the same time, and when you get kids, you don't have the same time to drink and go out with your like male buddies and go drinking. So I just had way too much booze as well. So I just gave away the shitty ones and kept all the good stuff and stopped buying for a while.
Yeah.
But I actually bought this on a trip in Canada recently. So and I've been looking forward to it, and this was the occasion to.
Hey, it's a great occasion
to get a bit of cheers.
My water.
I also have water.
Oh, good stuff. So when did you know you wanted to become an actor?
Well, that's a good question. I don't think you just know it. I started out in primary school doing plays. I remember, I think it was in 2nd or 3rd grade that we're doing this H.C. Andersen play called The Ice Queen. Okay. And they asked all the girls in my class to be the Ice Queen, and nobody wanted to, so I ended up being the Ice Queen. So I was wearing this big white dress and wig and crown and shit, and I was in 3rd grade, and all the older kids loved it. They thought it was very funny that this boy was the Ice Queen. And I think that started out like, okay, I can be funny. Okay, this is, I like this. This is something. I remember that as a moment of, oh, this is something. But I never thought, oh, I'm going to be an actor.
Gotcha.
I wanted to be a journalist, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but that's it. It's about, I think it's about telling stories, and I'm very curious always. Have been. So it's sort of in the same. I also write still. I write plays. I'm trying to write a feature at the moment.
Can you tell us anything about that?
Yeah.
No.
No. Okay. Then we won't.
That's fine. We don't want any spoilers out there.
No. Well, it's not a Viking feature, by the way. But well. We'll see if we get if the script's going to be good, and from there on, it's so many layers of pre-production and getting money before you actually will start shooting anything, and by then you still don't know if it's going to be good or just going to crash. Yeah. But it's nice. It's nice to keep on working on stories, I think.
Cool. So who are some of your bigger inspirations as far as actors go?
That's a mighty fine question. Anthony Hopkins is definitely one of them. And recent years, I would say Benedict Cumberbatch is just.
Oh yeah.
And I would. Well, his Sherlock is just brilliant.
It's one of our top shows. I think it's like right under Last Kingdom for me, Sherlock, honestly.
Well, it's really good. But it's when you see like a movie like Doctor Strange, that they picked a character actor to do this instead of just, like the hunky guy, or this is a good actor, but he looks the part or whatever. And then they would get the result of something pretty good, maybe, if the script is all right. But when you pick a guy like Benedict Cumberbatch, you just, first of all, you don't know what you're going to get, but you know it's going to be something special. And I think he's carrying that movie like 110%. And I think I wouldn't have liked it if it wasn't him.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine somebody else in that role.
Yeah, because it's the same. If you look at all the Marvel characters, I'm not gonna ditch anybody, but Robert Downey Jr. He's like solid fucking actor. He has the whole Marvel series, the Avengers, all that. Iron Man is just because you want to watch him, you want to look at him. He just has it,
Yeah.
And if they didn't have that power in Iron Man, I don't think that the whole series would have worked out as well.
I don't think it would have gotten
It's about finding these. Yeah. Not that I'm not a Marvel fan. I enjoyed the whole series and I've watched it almost. I think there's one or two I haven't. One of the new Spider-Man I haven't seen, and I haven't seen the one with Ant-Man and the Wasp. I think those two I haven't seen.
They're both good, so check them out.
Did I see that and forget it? I don't know.
It's definitely too solid.
Well, and just to mention another inspiration, I think Cate Blanchett is just fantastic.
She was in the MCU
and
too.
Oh yeah. That's not her. I wouldn't look at that.
No,
Cate Blanchett, but I know. Yeah. But you can just. She's also just a study in solid acting. I think.
Yeah.
So
cheers.
Steve.
Yeah.
So how did you get into The Last Kingdom then? How did you start with that?
Well, sort of by coincidence, actually. I've been working as an actor for quite a few years now, and doing all kinds of stuff. Short fiction. I've been doing Danish television series and some features and a lot of theater. And I always thought that if I'm gonna go outside Denmark, it'd probably be like a small part in some show where I will be the guy that, here's your letter, sir. Dead. Like that would be like the first stuff. And then I have some contacts in Germany, and at this point I didn't have an agent. You don't need an agent in Denmark to work. It's only if you want to go abroad you need an agent, because the business is not that big, and because the casting directors, they call you. The directors will call you directly, say, hey Magnus, we have this, would you really like to come for an audition? Or it's not like the agent is like a layer of fat that you don't need. But now it's there. And obviously, if you're doing big projects, it's nice to have an agent because there's a lot of contract stuff, especially when it's foreign. That like, well, what does this mean? What is this clause they have here and all that? But I didn't have an agent at the moment. When my contacts in Germany, they said, hey, we've seen this edition and we would like to pitch you for it if it's anything you would be interested in. And I looked at it like, I've heard about that show. I know some people who've been in it, but I haven't watched it. Like, yeah, cool. Put me up for that audition. And then I got the audition, or self-tape it is. So I got 2 scenes that I had to rehearse and shoot home with a camera. And I got the first episode of season 1 and the last episode of season 2. I got those set as well, so I had a feel of what is this series. And then I watched those and thought, okay, this is pretty cool. But it's weird because I'd only seen those 2 episodes. Like, this is very different. I saw the audition and I saw the name and I thought, Cnut. Cnut, that's a weird Viking name. And then, it's Cnut. That's a weird way to spell Cnut because in Danish it's Knut and it's spelled Knud. So this is Cnut. Okay. We would never say that in Scandinavia. You would also pronounce it Canute, probably. So I just saw the capital C and then N-U-T, like nut. So like, Cnut. What the fuck is this? This is the weirdest character. But I got it. And then, okay, cool. This is Cnut. Okay. Then I did a tape with one of my good colleagues and then sent it in. And then I remember my wife watching it saying, I think isn't that scene too, aren't you a little boring in it?
Oh.
Well, no, I think it's small because it's supposed to be small. You know, it's like, okay, whatever.
Right.
And then I think 2 weeks went by and I didn't hear anything. And that's pretty normal for self-tapes. And then they called and asked me to come to London for a selected few audition with the producer of the show and the director and the casting director. That's cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah. So I went to London and I had 30 minutes in a room with these guys and I did my scenes and left.
Yeah.
And then the casting director came out afterwards. And she was fixing a cab for me because they had to change my time 1.5 hours later. So they were arranging a cab so I would make my flight home. She came out and sat next to me and said, so we were getting your flight. And by the way, that was a perfect audition.
Ooh,
like, nice.
Good to hear.
You really like got the sense of the whole atmosphere and the humor of the show and all that. I was like, okay, she didn't have to say that, but you never know. And then I flew back thinking, well, this could be something.
I feel like they don't say that about someone they're unsure about, you know? They wouldn't say that.
No, but you know, she's not the one picking.
True.
She don't have the final say. And I found out about that later because I got a call and then afterwards that so I told them at the audition, you have to give me an answer tomorrow or the day after tomorrow because I will start rehearsals for a new production and theater production in Copenhagen, and I don't want to jump a show when we are working on it. I can jump before and maybe they will find another actor, but if we started working, it's very douchey to jump. And I hate doing that. I'm not a quitter, and I told them you have to do that, and they were like, oh yeah, we might be able to do making problems already. This ginger Dane. Yeah. Then they called and said, okay, so you're their favorite.
Okay.
But there was 9 people I had to convince, and 8 of them had me as their favorite. But the last, Stephen. Who was the head writer and also executive producer of the show. He was in LA, and he had the final say, so he could say no, and then the 8 others would just be nah. And then he could first look at the tape this evening and blah, 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 blah. And then he looked at it, and they called and said that I got the part. So
that's awesome. Wow,
it ended
that's
out
a process.
But
wow.
If he didn't like me, that would have been enough. So it's pretty
Even
tough.
though 8 other people wanted you, but if he didn't want you.
Yeah. So, but that and so that kind of gave me like confidence that okay, so if you get it, if you make it to the live auditions, if you get into the room with the director, you've done well, because hundreds of people are submitting self-tapes for these characters, and if you get it to be the selected few, then either way it can be your beard or lack of it, or it could be your hair color, or it's stuff like that. Well, he has this nasal sound I don't like, or whatever.
Yeah.
I always thought the character had brown eyes. That
it's a
you
little
can
thing
die
like
on that.
Oh man, talk about pressure.
I had a chat with the producer while shooting it. I think around episode 4, and she said, so actually in the audition process, it came up at the round table when we were talking about you. There was somebody said, can we have a ginger Viking? Can we have that? And as a Dane with Viking blood and like ginger hair, red hair, that is just Scandi fucking Navian. It's like, it's okay if that's the question in the audition room, and when they're choosing, there's nothing as an actor you can do. It's like,
what do you want?
I am like,
okay, I look at this. For fuck's sake. If that's a problem, you can just deliver your best and then just relax, because it's really out of your hands now. So that was nice to know as an actor. Just okay. I'm whatever I give them is good enough, and after that it's just up in the air.
Yeah, well, you gave it your all, and you got it.
Yeah. So, but then shit happened, and I'm drinking whiskey and waiting on season 4. So
yes.
Yeah. So now you're in Cnut. Now you're on the show. How do you approach the character? How do you come in as Cnut? Do you have any inspiration for that, or is it really just how you've interpreted and went for it?
When I got the part, I was obviously excited, but I didn't know much about the character. I hadn't read the books because I just got these 2 episodes, and I was working full time on a play and starting a new play that I had to jump then and all that jazz. I first of all I just looked at the show. I watched the whole thing twice, just to see what is this, who are these people, and okay, I'm playing the cousin of this guy, so that means okay, but that, which actually is quite interesting, that if I'm the cousin of Ragnar, I'm also the cousin of Uhtred.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
Yeah.
You thought you would have met at like a family dinner or something.
Like a family reunion at some point, you would have.
Come to Papa. No, so I looked at all that, and then I only had very little material from the script about my character, because they don't write the whole 10 episodes
right
ahead. I got 4 episodes right before the read through. I had seen the first 2 episodes, but those were the scenes in those episodes were the scenes I've worked on for the audition. So I hadn't seen anything else. It's hard to work on a character if you don't know anything.
Yeah.
And I googled Wikipedia Cnut Longsword or Ranulfsson to just find out, okay, which books is he in and whatever. I just went, okay, so he's this kind of guy. I think I'm gonna figure out how he looks. That always helps me to figure out like personality from the way a person talks or looks, or so I found some different kinds of armor and colors, and tattoos, and I thought about a lot about Norse mythology, which kind of gods would this guy be more interested in than the others. So, and I went with Loki.
Which is a
good
fit. Yeah.
Yeah, and Odin would also be a good fit because he's like warrior god, also like he likes berserk and but Loki is just a very scheming kind of guy.
Yeah.
And I just went with him. So I found some different kinds of ideas for tattoos with Loki, like Sleipnir the horse, Odin's horse. That is one of Loki's children, and the Midgard serpent is also one of his children. And Fenrir the wolf is also one of Loki's children. So I actually got I sent all this to Cate Blanchett, which is was the makeup designer for season 1, 2, 3, and I sent it to Molly Rowe, who's the costume designer for season 3 and 4. And I sent all my ideas to them and expected nothing, because you could come down there and they will have all your suit, your armor, whatever ready for you, and you wouldn't have a say in it. But when I met them for the first time, they had both printed all these, and I didn't meet them at the same time, so they just did it separately. They printed all my pictures and ideas out, like in big papers in color.
Oh,
like,
man.
I love your idea about that. And so we put in the Midgard serpent in your, so my necklace has,
That's
and
what I was
also
going to ask.
Cnut's, also Cnut's shield. That's the Midgard serpent. And I have my tattoo on my cheek is the Midgard serpent.
Oh, that's awesome.
Which is actually it's going through the beard and coming out here. You don't really see that too much, and going
With
down.
the hair. Yeah.
Yeah, hair and beard and shit.
Beard. Yeah.
And also in my costume they put in the other animals, and so they really took it in. And also the colors. I said, I want to work with green. And they were like, yeah. So we have made this green leather armor for you. And it's like, okay, shit. They listen.
Awesome.
Wow. I've never tried that before.
That's so cool. Do other characters do that on the show? Like put their input or?
Yeah, they do. But you have to ask. You have to just say, hey, can I get this? And a lot of actors wouldn't do that normally. But here they had to. They were working with me to create the character, which was really cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
I also got my sword. I got writ on it Ulfbert, which is Cnut in the books. That's on his sword, Ice Bite. So I put that. And
Sweet.
So when I asked the prop master, could I get? Yeah, cool. We'll do that. That's cool. Like, okay. So it's just ask and then I'm happy that I prepared all that, because you could also just come down. Oh, so what do you have for me? And then they will have all this, and that will be it. And they're super professional, so they would just figure something cool out. But now I could make my say and put my input in it.
That really helps influence then how you perceive him then too, is all these ideas you brought in and were able to help bring out through his appearance. Because the Viking appearance is a big part, especially Cnut. He's a very unique looking guy with the round veins.
Actually, I remember during my costume fittings in the beginning, first costume fitting with Molly Rowe, we high-fived at least 3 times. and I'd never met her before, but we just
oh man,
that was like perfect first meet. So
you guys just clicked like that.
Yeah, that was like that. Shit, this is special. She had this. Yeah, I had this idea of Cnut being a peacock, and I said, fuck yeah, that's exactly what I thought. He likes to show off.
That's awesome.
Was there any whiskey at this costume design?
There's also always a bit of the ski in the. No, none of it. But a peacock is quite interesting. Look at a character because it's about showing off, showing off wealth or showing off something. So I like that. But when you get all that, to come back to your question, when you get all that from the get-go with your own work, and then you get into the final costume and you sit in makeup and I get this extension curled into my hair. All beard is my own.
Nice.
And get the scars and tattoos and all that, and walk out and get the armor on and my weapons. I fucking look like a badass Viking.
You do. So, and on Netflix, at least in the U.S., like the little thumbnail on Netflix, you're the guy there. The little guy, and you're like leaning over the table. I was like, oh man, that's a pretty sweet picture to put on get people to watch.
I saw that when I was working in Canada, because we don't even have season 3 in Denmark.
Oh.
It's not out in Scandinavia.
Oh, so have you seen it?
I have seen it. But so when I went to Canada, I was like, shit, that's my face right there on Netflix.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Mama, I made it.
You made it. And it looks like you're going to be, you don't have to, no spoilers or anything, but it looks like you're a big part of the new season 4. Looks like you're one of the main Danes now, controlling the armies, maybe going headbutting with the other Danes, maybe Heston and that new guy.
Yeah, I can't really say much.
We don't want you to.
Yeah, we're not trying to get you to, but
is it 5 days, 4 days, 5 days?
5 days.
Yeah, 5 days.
There will be 10 episodes out for you, so you can just binge the shit out of it.
Oh yeah, definitely will. One thing we know is that you do have someone's head, so we see that.
Yeah,
that's in the trailer. So
yeah, I actually did on my my Instagram account. I put out a picture because where I was just holding the head, and I put sunglasses on the head, and I was wearing sunglasses, being all Cnuty, and then I just wrote the caption, just another day in the office, I think, something like that.
I just photoshopped a picture of that, the one from the trailer.
I
put Steve's face on your head, and he's holding my head. And we're gonna post it, and we're gonna be like, who else is losing their head for season 4?
Cool. But people went ballistic, like they thought because it was a bearded head. So spoiler alert, you die in this season. Okay, so you think I would put a picture of me holding my own head up on Instagram while shooting? You think I was allowed to do that? Okay, cool. You don't know much about television. But the head it isn't even ginger, but it's like brownish reddish, and the beard is just short hair. But people have a tendency to just can't see gingers alike. It's like you're all the same. People. No, there's so many times people stop me like, oh, I know you, and it's not from anything I've done.
Is it from Game of Thrones?
Yeah, you see what I mean? You're doing it right now.
So we know it's not you.
We knew it wasn't you, but
yeah, exactly. For example, but it's just ginger people with beards like, yeah, I saw you at the beach the other day. Nope, wasn't me. Yeah, I'm sure it was you. Nope, wasn't me. I met this crazy fan at some point who was just 100% sure I was Christopher Heavue from Game of Thrones, and she came up with, Giantsbane, you sign my here, Christopher, sign my. No, sorry, it's not. I'm an actor, but it's not me. I'm another. My name is Magnus. No, Christopher, sign this, and had a picture of Christopher Heavue as what is his name?
Tormund Giantsbane.
Tormund Giantsbane, right? Like a picture of the character. Like, no, sign it. Serious, it's not me. Sign it. Oh, cool. I'll sign it. Magnus Bruun. Like, thank you, Christopher. Like, okay, I don't know what else to do.
That's hilarious.
You should just go in for work for him one day, maybe. Maybe you guys should switch and see if anyone notices.
Yeah, but isn't he working on a series right now where he's playing his own twin? I think he's good.
Is that?
I think I have. I don't know what it's called, but yeah, I think you're right. So there you go. You could work as your own twin then for a while.
No, it would be fun to play his brother though, or something like that.
Yeah. He's from Norway, or he's from Scandinavian areas.
He's from Norway, yeah.
Okay. So was Cnut someone you knew about from history at all, or Canoe?
Well, there wasn't Cnut the Great. Are you supposed to be that guy?
No.
Okay.
He's later. He's 100 years later ish. King Cnut. Cnut is actually he's built on a character called Halfdan, and another character that when I met Mr. Conwell, he told me that he built my character on these two guys that instead of introducing two new Viking warlords for one book, he wanted to use a known Viking already from prior books. So he just made Cnut be the lead on this storyline instead of introducing new characters.
Cool.
So and I didn't know all that when I started out. I knew obviously that Guthrum and Appa and all those characters were real, but I didn't find Cnut anywhere in history books. Good old Cnut.
So you get to do like a lot of cool, at least in season 3, in the episode 10, you go off in the battle scene in season 10, and and before that there's
At
like
last.
a scene, yes. And we get a little bit of a hint in that in episode 9 where you just start throwing haymakers on your own men.
Yeah, the mosh pit you guys have going on.
Yeah, that was a fun scene to make.
Did you have any experience with like fight scenes before Last Kingdom? Or battle scenes like that?
Yeah, actually, I've been doing a lot of stage fighting and fighting in theater and like in stunt courses, and so I've been doing a lot. So it's sort of easy to jump into.
Okay, cool. So what does the preparation for a battle like season 10 look like? Or episode 10, season 3?
Well, we would normally, I think we started, the stunt guys are working their asses off. We met up on a Saturday in the forest, in the woods, in training gear, with the back shields and like protection gear on knees and elbows, and our stunt doubles were there, and a lot of stunt guys, and they were working on the choreography of our fights. Gotcha. And then we worked the whole Saturday on the fights we were going to do, and then on Monday we started shooting, and then everybody has to be there. Have to be there for the whole week, even though you're not shooting. Preferably, you're going to shoot at least a scene a day, but you don't know. So you're working on you're relaxing, but you're also working on the choreography with the stunt guys while. So when they got a camera, we have ready now. So we moved the 200 extras behind here, so it looks like the battle is raging around. And then your fight here is, and then just you have to be ready. You can't just go. Sorry, what my fight? I was drinking whiskey, and you can't do that. Yeah, so you will work for, then you will do your scenes, and we remember we did some extra scenes because they wanted to have some scenes for like the capper of the episode, like what is gonna come in next season. So I shot this quite cool scene. You follow, there's just a spray of dead Saxons and Mercian people lying, and in the front you have this wounded guy just crawling, and then you just see a couple of legs jumping and walking down past and stepping on these guys, and then stopping just behind this guy crawling and just taking his head up and just grabbing his hair, and you see it's Cnut, and just going and then walk off. But
awesome.
They didn't use that.
Oh man, I want to see that.
I know.
I just pictured the whole thing in my head, and I was like getting pumped. I was like, oh.
Yeah. But we shot tons of material that didn't get in. Mm-hmm. All the scripts were 62 pages, and all the episodes, because it was Netflix, 100% original Netflix, and they had to be 51 or 52 minutes. So there's at least 10 minutes of good material didn't get in the cut in the edit.
Okay.
So,
which
is quite sad, because there's a lot of good stuff there. It's very tight. What you see is very tight, and I would have loved to see maybe just 4 minutes more per episode, where it's just loosen up a little bit more of like just humans. So it's not just story, Utrecht story, because there's a lot of life you don't see in between the characters.
Interesting.
But that's how it is.
We've talked a lot about
season 4. They changed it, so it was 52 pages per episode.
Gotcha.
Do they still have that life, that those character moments though, like how you were saying, those little building moments though? Are those still built into the script though now?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Because they still have a lot of story they want to fit in there. But and then again, I don't know. I haven't seen the full edit of the whole show, so I don't know what ended up. What I've seen is what I've done doing ADR for the episodes, and so I see small parts where they want to change something, or where this is blah, 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 blah. So I haven't seen a full episode, so I wouldn't know.
Do you know when you'll get to see season 4 then? You guys are gonna, I guess the quarantine and everything's going on is kind of limit everyone getting to see each other, but is it just?
I'll probably get to see it on Sunday, like all of you.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna binge it. I don't have 10 hours to do that.
Right. Not with the kids, right?
Yeah. But I'll watch it. It's fine. I know it.
So you said you have a 4.5-year-old, I think you told me. You said.
Yeah.
Is your son? Or
yeah.
Does he know his dad's a Viking?
Yeah, he does.
That's awesome.
Because I brought him to. Yeah, he's been with me at set twice. So he's been with me on a horse with me while I was in full Cnut costume when he was 2.5 there, but he also came this season understanding way more, and he was kind of proud. I could see that because he was walking in front of me, and there was like a lot of extras sitting in Viking costumes, which were part of spoiler, Cnut has an army, part of my army. Oh my God! What? He's still an army? Oh my God!
Wow.
But he knew those guys were my guys. So he's like, he was just in Danish going, "This is you are part of my dad's army. You are my you're like my dad is like."
Oh, that's awesome.
That was sweet.
Yeah.
My dad never had an army.
Yeah. Well, mine either. Yeah, so he and sometimes I think he would forget, but then sometimes he would just ask at home, like, so why does Cnut has blah, blah, blah? Like, okay, you just thought about that? We haven't talked about this for 2 months, and then suddenly just you have a question about Cnut, and you're 4 years old. I don't know. Okay, cool.
Hey, he probably idolizes.
So
he's gonna grow up and be a Viking.
Maybe he's just gonna be so fucking embarrassed because his dad keeps dressing up,
I don't think
it's gonna be, oh Dad, you're so embarrassing. Can you please? I think the teenage years he's gonna fucking hate me.
I don't know. That would be pretty sweet of him. Viking. I mean, that's just about as cool as it gets, I think.
Yeah.
That or a knight. I don't know. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, I always wanted to be a pirate.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
If I could choose something cool cool project to be in, I would love to be like a pirate, man.
I think they're making more of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. I think they are.
Well, they are. I think
believe
they.
so.
Not to talk bad about stuff, but I think that series went. Whew.
Yeah.
The last one was actually surprisingly good. I didn't see it because I thought it was going to be bad too.
Was that the one with Javier Bardem?
Yes.
Yeah, but still, man. I really enjoy watching Johnny Depp, but I think he just went too far with this character.
Yeah.
He's nothing. He's just a drunk now. He's not really funny. He's not dangerous. He's not sexy. He's not anything.
He became too much comical relief.
Yeah, they kind of made his character more of a joke in like after.
Yeah, and that was sad because in the beginning he was actually he still had all that.
He was smart.
He was fierce, and he was clever, and now he's just lucky.
Yeah.
You know, lucky and stupid and drunk, and and there's way too much CGI. It's
yeah.
There was a lot of CGI in that one, yeah.
I'm not. It's never dangerous, never interesting when it's just CGI on CGI. Yeah. I watched Aquaman.
Oh, okay. What did you think?
Too much CGI, huh?
I'll tell you what. I liked the first 15 minutes of that movie and the last 15 minutes of that movie. I really enjoyed. In the middle,
so I think you enjoyed 30 minutes more than me then.
Okay.
And I'm not talking about the acting. I just think it's a horrible movie.
No, yeah.
And the script is just so fucking bad. Also, Momoa, he's such a good actor. He's cool. He's just in this.
It's kind of It didn't really do anything for me either. That one. DC's just been having not such a great time overall lately.
You think?
So.
Until Joker.
Joker was awesome. I don't know if you saw Joker, but
yeah. That's cool.
That was cool. That was a sweet movie. Great. I mean,
it's not really a superhero movie. It's a study into how you go deep into a character. That's what it is.
It really is. It's one of the best acting performances I've seen in a long time, for sure.
What about the Dark Knight trilogy? Fan of that?
Yeah. I am. I think the first one is the best.
Oh yeah. Interesting.
I think the second one is too long. I love everything with the Joker in it, but and Heath Ledger is just. But I think it's like it ends, and then you have to endure half an hour more because they have to make Two-Face and kill Two-Face.
Yeah, they do. They make.
And that's half an hour I didn't need.
I like that one. It was the last one though, the Rises one. I thought it was a little too choppy, a little too much crammed in, jumping around all over the place.
Yeah, that was. There's too much in all of them.
Yeah.
It's like little kill your darlings, but I love them, and I really like Christian Bale as well. His work in The Fighter. Have you seen The Fighter?
Yeah.
That is. When I saw that, I was mind blown. I just went, "Fuck you, Christian Bale! Why do you have to be so good that all other actors just have to go? Yeah, I can't climb that high. I can't climb that fucking high, man."
Oh, I don't know. So coming back to Last Kingdom a little bit here, talking about your character. Yeah, you remember that show? Talking about your character Canoe. Tell me some things that you love about Canoe.
Well, I love that he's ambitious.
Yeah.
I think that is my main word on him. He's ambitious. He's a thinker, you know. He's not like the genuine Viking that just go die. He's like, yeah, go kill, yeah. I'll be over here, yeah. Your girl, yeah, cool. You know, and I think that was very exciting because in the first first couple of episodes of season 3, he was kind of just there, just being. I was just provocating Uhtred all I could.
Yeah.
That was my main target.
Daneslayer.
All my lines. All my lines in the first couple of episodes were in Dunholm. Everything is directed completely at Uhtred. It's like, that one was for you, and that's for you, and you have this one as well. So he's just stirring the pot a bit, and then, but also he's like a spectator of the whole show. Well, I made this saying for him that was, why does everything have to be so boring? That was Cnut's saying. So even though it might not fit in the plan, if it's fun, it's good. Yeah. So when Bloodhair came, I make the square. I want to kill Uhtred. Like, that's a stupid idea. That would be fucking stupid if one of you dies, because we need you all to take fucking England. Yeah. But it would also be very fun and interesting to look at. So I applaud you, Bloodhair. Let's have a fight, you know?
That's pretty Viking.
Yeah, you know, and when Uhtred finally defeats Bloodhair and gets punched by Ragnar, and he leaves with Skate, I came up with this line, just because I was holding her. She was tied up, and I was holding her, and I just pushed her to him and just, enjoy your prize. And the director, Andy Demony, was like, yeah, we're gonna keep that. Sweet. Like, because it's just another like hint of between them.
So do you have room to kind of put your own things in, like improvise a little bit? Obviously, there you're able.
But if they don't like it, it will not make it.
Right.
But I always put in my own stuff, and I also delete some of my own lines if it's too much. I think this, you know, it's like, oh, why do I really have to say all this? Because what I'm trying to say is this. So I go both ways. I'm not just adding stuff.
Right.
I would only add stuff to a scene if I think it's needed. Also, you'll have a tendency to see characters in scenes where they are not needed, and if they're not needed, they shouldn't be there. And I think it has to make sense for a character to be there, and it wouldn't make sense if I was holding Skate for a whole fight scene where, like, this big home gang they're having, and then I give Skate to Uhtred, and he leaves, and I haven't said a word. Magnus wouldn't do that. That would be weird. So, like, there need to be some communication here. I would tend to add stuff here and there, but then again, I would delete stuff. I delete a lot of names. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Script writers, they put in names in every fucking scene. It's like, so Uhtred, what do you think about all of this happening here, Uhtred? Oh, really, Uhtred? You think?
It's like Rick and Morty.
Do I have to say his name 4 times in this scene? I would never do that. It's like that, nobody talks that way. It's like, no, but the viewers have to be sure it's okay. This is season 3, and even this is season 4. If they don't know the name of the lead, they shouldn't be watching this show.
Yeah,
you know, and watch something else. Okay.
Get some flashcards.
Because you want to make it sound reasonable. You want to make it sound real. And how many times have I said your two names while talking now?
3.
Once, twice.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, and that was before we started anything. Just when we did the test, if it works, right?
Right.
So
It's just
you
you
don't say that. You don't say each other's names unless it's important. Like Colby, shh. We need to, you know. Then I'm using your name, but otherwise I wouldn't. So
Colby,
it's just
Colby. Calm down.
Colby,
I hear that way too much. Come on.
Steve and me are having a conversation.
Magnus
Can you
and
please?
I.
Yeah, you don't talk that way, and it's because I found out by talking to executive producers about it. It's because Netflix they expect half of the ones viewing the shows not to be 100% on it. So you'll be on your phone while watching it, or you're doing something on your iPad, and or you're probably in the kitchen, it's on your screen, you're cooking, or maybe you're painting your living room and cosplaying a bit because I want to look like Batman while I'm. But so it's no, you're right. I want to look like some wonderful elven girl. It's not Batman. But it's because of that, and I think that's we're talking down to the viewers. We shouldn't be doing that. If they where are we? You have to just go rewind, watch the scene again, because all the people that are into it, looking at the fucking show, seen every fucking season, they know what's going on. And if you talk down to them, you're losing your audience. They're going, ugh, why are they? It's like children's television where, so little rabbit, hello, yes, and it's but it's like, don't do that. They can see it's a rabbit. Like, so hi, I'm a rabbit. That's fine. You don't have to. Oh, I'm the
Walt, kill Ragnar.
So I delete a lot of names, and I've been doing that in every project I'm in, but especially in The Last Kingdom.
The Last Kingdom is way too dense too with story to
look
like
away.
Not pay attention. You know what I mean? Like to be on your phone, it's irresponsible. You know, it's
and it's so
you're gonna miss
jam-packed
something
with awesome parts that it's really hard to look away. To me, at least.
I think it's great.
I think it's a proper show as well. I've liked watching it, and I really think that the third season really took off. I liked it before, but I think it helped actually being 50 minutes episodes, because I kind of felt that these hour episodes, they kind of they had this storyline and they ended the storyline and then they kind of began a new one and then it ended. Sort of with like the Dark Knight. Dark Knight Rises, right? Or the Dark Knight is number 2.
Yeah, the first one.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like
the second
we
one.
have to introduce the Two-Face in the end of every episode. You know, it's like And I think it's consistency in season 3 is just bang to the point. Like end episode, next cliffhanger, end episode. It's like. And the pace is more.
One example we talk about a lot is the one where Alfred and his son are deciding to, or Edward's trying to decide to go in and help with that battle. And we didn't remember that was 2 different episodes that it happens, because we were so pumped up that we were just like, go to the next one. You know what I mean? And when we rewatched it, we realized that it was actually 2 different episodes at that moment where Alfred and Edward are talking.
What is he saying? No, so what are you going to do? Or something like that.
Yeah. You can breach or you can decide or something.
Yeah, you can breach or you can hold.
It was cool.
Great scene. Oh, goosebumps.
Yeah, David Dawson, he's such a good actor. I think Alex is really doing a brilliant job, but it's hard to be the lead, like the good lead, because you always have to be a little in the middle. You can't go full off unless the character is like crazy. But if the character is too crazy, you wouldn't like to follow that character for too long anyway. So, but David, he could just do everything with that king, and
they make you not like Alfred a lot. You know, they make you not like him, but you wonder if the show was actually written from his point of view instead of Uhtred's a lot. You know, how would we feel about him then, and how would we feel differently about Uhtred in a lot of those scenarios?
Yeah. And that's also why that scene they have together in season 3, is that episode 8, I think,
where they they talk about the Chronicles and
Uhtred and Alfred.
Yeah, that is just
9. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Bang on, fucking solid acting and
Goosebumps.
Storytelling and
my god.
It's just perfect, you know.
It was satisfying.
You needed that for those 2 characters.
Yeah,
that was like perfect.
It was.
Yeah, because you just want them. They've had so much history together that you want them to finally have a great ending, you know, and kind of redeem things. We were sad that we're disappointed that Ragnar and Uhtred weren't able to have that kind of moment.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, so come on.
Yeah.
Good.
Fun story actually about Tobias Sandelman, who plays Ragnar. He's first of all, he's such a brilliant actor. He's so good. I remember watching him in all the Dunholm scenes we did in the beginning, and just sitting watching him. We were shooting the scene, and camera on me and camera on obviously on him close up. Blah, blah, blah. And he was talking about, so we're gonna do this. So how is this war? We're gonna all this. I just tend to just look at him and just forget that I was kind of plotting against him a little bit.
Yeah.
So I want to follow this guy, man. He's just so fucking good.
Yeah.
Is it this? And then oh shit, no. I have to. I can't think.
Wow.
I can't think that. That's wrong.
That's a huge compliment.
He was just yeah. It was fucking breathtaking.
Wow.
Yeah. No, but fun story about him. And his when he dies. But I remember me and Tobias and Emily shot the scene where he's lying dead. We had at this lake, and it's only the three of us. He's dead, and I start making like sort of moves on Brita, saying that we should partner up. And she asks something like, so yesterday you wanted to lead with blood hair, and now you want to lead with me. And I have a very sensitive line saying, yeah, but I don't want to bed blood hair. And then Tobias was lying dead. He just went, really, guys? I'm right here. I'm right here. While we were shooting, that was stop doing that on my dead body. Can you please stop doing that? It's like it's not, dude. It's not cool, man. It's my wife. It's just I missed working with Tobias in season 4, and also I missed working with him for the rest of season 3 because he's a really nice guy, and he's also a really good actor. But it was also kind of nice to be the one who made Ethelwald kill him.
Yeah.
Made a lot of people angry.
The look on your face when he actually did it too. The
you
look
were
of
kind of
surprise.
surprised though the next day.
Yeah, I never thought he would do it. He would be able to do it.
Yeah.
My idea was that Cnut thought, okay, if Ethelwald will try to, then Ethelwald will die, and that will be fine.
Yeah.
And if he succeed, well, shit, let's bring out the champagne, but that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But then it did, and then I have to move fast. Then I have to take over this army, and I have to take over the girl, and that was faster than the plan. And but obviously Cnut likes Brita, and that's I really tried to get that in there. That it's not only about the army, about winning. Because if it's only that, I think it's boring. If it's just Cnut being mean, Cnut just want to have it all. It's not interesting to play.
Right.
Because people keep asking me, so how is it to play this manipulative bad guy? Well, I don't see him that way. Because if I saw him that way, I couldn't I couldn't be him. I have to be able to defend everything I do, and if my reasons to do it is because I'm bad, that's not workable. It's maybe so that's why ambitious is a good word.
Yeah, I think it's a good word.
I want more. I'm very interested in Brita. I might even love her. I want her, but she's also the means to getting what I want as well. So it's layers of that want.
Yeah. So, do you have any challenges when it comes to playing Cnut?
No.
None at all?
Not really. He's very different from me.
Okay.
But I think, as I said, when you get all that makeup, all that hair and scars and costume and armor and weapons, it's like this. I really don't have to act that much. I can just talk.
Yeah.
And mean what I say, then it's there because I look the part. Where in it can be harder if all the work is not that good. Then it can be, then you have to do more. But he came quite easy to me. And it's about finding the fun in every scene, as I talked about. Like, why does it have to be so boring? So if you always look for that, and always look for what can I get out of these characters? What can I get out of this situation? Yeah. Because you don't see Cnut fighting until episode 8, 9.
9 is when he starts punching like.
Yeah, 9. Yeah, where it's just I can feel it in my balls, just starting beating people up. You know, you just get a sense like, okay, there's two kind of. This character is not only I'm gonna do this and that. He has like a crazy side.
Yeah,
I figured out he has this beast mode.
He went beast mode there. Yeah.
Yeah, because in the books he's like this. He's the greatest swordsman, the greatest sword Dane there is.
Yeah.
But you never see him fight in the first 8 episodes. Like, so what is? So it's because of this. But when he is fighting, he's just fucking fierce. That was my take on it. So that's also kind of what we did in the final battle of season 3. And Levente Lassac, which is the stunt coordinator and horse master of the show, he went up to me afterwards like, Cnut, he's a fucking beast, man. You're a beast. It's like, yeah. So when we started working on season 4 and scenes of, spoiler, I'm fighting in season 4.
Oh
Sorry.
My goodness. Oh, yes.
Oh my god. No. Yes. Yeah. They worked that into it. So my stunt double, Sultan Benkovic, which is a blonde guy, clean shaved. I think he was 23. Beautiful man, Hungarian man, very nice guy as well, and a very cool fighter. He'd worked all the stuff I did in season 3 into season 4 Cnut. So they made the fight scenes. When they did the choreography, they used what we found out. So it wasn't just new choreography. This was like character choreography. So they had all that beastie, all that craze that obviously I also put into it. Right. But it's fun to have that and push that button, go ballistic.
That's awesome.
That was fun to work with.
Are you able to separate the character from yourself, like when you leave the set and go home?
Just step out of it?
I guess some actors kind of stay in character, like while they're filming something. How does it work for you?
I don't get that really.
No? Okay.
No, I think I understand some of it if you're working on an accent that's not yours. Okay. I understand why if you kind of keep talking in that accent to not lose it. I've been doing that when working with different kinds of Danish dialects. I played lead in a feature and I had to talk in another dialect. Oh. So I this period of time where we were shooting, I kept talking in that dialect all the time because then it was easier for me to improvise in that dialect. If I only knew my lines in the dialect, if I had to say something else, I would have to, how do I say that or whatever. So I kept working in that way, but I was Magnus. I wasn't the character. I wasn't Johnny. I wasn't the character. You know?
Right. Okay.
So because I think that is weird. I think and it must be hard being married to an actress or an actor coming home with all the shit. I don't get it. You don't need to do that. Wasn't there this old actor saying something like, "Have you tried acting?" I can't remember. I think it was like one method actor running to pump himself up, and the old guy was just standing. Have you heard about acting? Not saying that you shouldn't pump yourself up using all kinds of means that works for you, but I think if you have to live your character, that's just weird. So I have to live being this murderous character. Like, so when I go home, I should trash stuff or rape women or like,
Right.
Raid the neighborhood.
Raid the neighborhood. Whatever.
Yeah, as you do, pillage and burn.
Yes.
I think there's some flaws in that way of
scheme.
working.
Yeah, interesting.
So obviously, as an actor, you should do what works for you, and I can only talk about what works for me. Yeah. But I think if I had to stay in a character that much, where's the fun, man? I need to have fun. I need to be able to have fun with my friends, and we had a lot of fun. This cast, there was a brilliant cast, so nice people. I mainly hang with the Scandinavian people, Scandinavian guys and girls, but that was because of planning, because we shoot it in blocks. So they will shoot everything in the Viking camp, for example. They'll shoot all that, and that means all the Danish Scandinavian actors are there, and then we shoot for 2 weeks, 3 weeks maybe, and then we go home, and then they shoot all the Winchester stuff.
Oh,
and then, and obviously where Utrecht is, that's where if you are with Utrecht, you are there all the time. But so when Utrecht is in Dunholm, for example, in season 3, we shot a lot in Dunholm, and then all the Danish people went home, and Alex and the guys stayed, and then they went to Winchester or whatever, and then all the British actors came down and shot.
So interesting.
Okay. And then when the big battles are there, the big group scenes, then obviously we're all there at the same time.
Right.
But it is back and forth. And I told them that I just wanted to go home whenever it was possible, because I had a two-year-old kid, and I didn't want to stay down there when I could be home with him. But if I had been 25, single, I would just say, yeah, I'll stay in fucking Budapest, man. It's summertime, just whatever, That would be, because that would just have been a holiday when I wasn't working. But I have a wife and kids, and I just wanted to be where they were. So it depends on where you are in your life as well. Yeah. Yeah,
I'm pretty excited because in the trailer there's just a small shot of you just giving just a guttural scream. It looks like you're about to go into battle. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, your charge.
Yeah. I remember something.
Well, you might remember. Yeah. So all I'm saying is, it's not a question, but I'm pretty pumped to see whatever that's about, because that was probably the best. There's a few screams in that trailer. That was probably the best scream I heard.
That was best Viking yell.
Well, thank you very much. I worked on that scream.
What was your favorite moments? If it was shooting on The Last Kingdom, if it was from season 4, you can just say it was in season 4, no spoilers or anything like that. But what was your favorite time on Last Kingdom, or something you shot?
I think I would say there was some scenes in season 4 that was very nice to have as an actor. When I read the scripts, I really like, oh yes, thank you for giving the character that side as well. Because when you play a baddie, you normally you tend to get a lot of stuff in one lane. Understand what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
And even though you try, and I've been trying hard to do all kinds of get it in there, it's still when they edit it, they've edited a lot of the bits out that aren't like dangerous.
Okay.
I had a lot of stuff with Brita, for example, Emily, that we didn't see in season 3, which I think was sad, because I think that was interesting, but obviously they had to cut 10 minutes. So if it's not necessary for the story, then get rid of it. It's I have lost the question.
No, I was just asking your favorite moment. Can you tell if it
favorite
was an
moment? Yeah.
Yeah. Was it an action scene, or was it more of an acting character scene? That was probably your favorite. That way
I think acting scenes definitely always. It's fun to work on big choreography, but that is also just physical.
Yeah.
And I think the stunt guys have upped themselves this year. I think it's amazing, some of the stuff you're going to see. You can look forward to that. But I think one of my favorite things or scenes from season 3, I have two. I think manipulating Ethelwald was sweet. Just going, hi. Also, one thing I put in actually, I put in friend, the word friend. That was never in the script. I call Heston friend a lot, and I called Ethelwald friend a lot. You know, I just, they're like, how are you doing, friend? Like really trying to be his pal, and
trying to earn their
the
trust.
Thing about putting a hand on the shoulder. I like that a lot as well.
Taking one out of Alfred's playbook. Right.
It's a sign of, it's a sign of power, but it's also a sign of hey, I'm here with you. I trust you. It's about being physical. So I use that a lot. But I think that scene where I just sat down next to Ethelwald with a nail and just going, so what are you doing? Oh, well, I'm afraid that he will kill you soon. Oh yeah, I know. It should be tonight. Tonight? I haven't been like that. I think that small trip was nice. Sorry.
One of my favorite was when you sat down you were with the other Dane leaders, Heston, Bloodhair, and Aethelwald are all sitting there, and you tell Aethelwald what you want him to do now. Now that he's got you your spot, and you tell him, well, I want you to go back to Winchester and kill Uhtred. And he's like, how would I do that? And he said, the same way you killed Ragnar. You just drop his secret in front of everyone.
Oh, man.
Great moment.
That was well done.
Yeah. Well, that was fun. That was fun anyway. Yeah. But I was also there's like this 3-part scene I did in episode 3, I think, or 4. Ragnar comes out. Hey, Cnut, I want to talk to you. And you need to talk to Blood. Some of us should talk to Bloodhair. And then there's this young lady walking into his tent, and he goes, "You talk to Bloodhair because he's gonna try to make another baby or whatever." He was womanizing. I don't feel sorry for Ragnar. He didn't treat Brita that well. But he goes into the tent, and okay, I'll talk to Bloodhair, and then I goes directly to Brita and talk to her. Like, he's a motherfucker. Huh? He's but and I think I say, and that's the point where I say I want to lay with you. I think that's the scene.
Yeah, okay.
So just after talking to Ragnar, going, okay, so you're gonna fuck this girl? I'll talk to your girl then.
Yeah.
And then directly from that, I go to Bloodhair, and I just start scheming with Bloodhair about Ragnar being weak. It's like that was just like, nice. But yeah, there's so many scenes I can't even fucking remember all of them. Which is nice. It's a great character. I love playing him.
That's awesome. So how about a horse? Had you ever ridden a horse before the show, or did you already know how? Yeah,
I did, but I hadn't ridden big horses like those we're riding here, and it's also when you ride a stunt horse, it's something different. But they're so cool. They were introducing us to how to do it at these horse riding assessment. When you fly down to Budapest to work. It's like, so we've scheduled your first horse riding assessment. We're like, okay, so assessment where you try out. This is maybe not going to be your horse, but you work with that.
Yeah.
And it's because they want to make sure that you are safe and the horse is safe and that everybody else is safe. So they're really taking good care of it. And you go out to this countryside where Levante has this wonderful stables. It's like green hills with flowers and beautiful horses all over, and like whoa, this is I want to live here.
That's awesome.
And well, you train, and we trained for a Dane, like me, Tobias, Jeppe plays Heston, and Ola, who plays Bloodhair. We trained together in the riding 4-on-4, and so the horses. Then we got our horses, and then so they knew we were riding them, and so when you get on set, it's just easy. You've tried to do it. I have a scene where I grab Harry McIntyre, Ethelwald's horse, and just ride along with him. Come with me. Just I asked him, so I want to do this before we do it on tape, because I want to make sure that Harry is safe and that the horses know what we're doing and that I'm safe. So we trained that. And then when we were shooting it, it was just easy peasy. But it's not cool to do stuff like that if it's not safe, and the producer's just going, time, and let's just do it, even though it's not safe. And they don't want to do that either. So, but we don't get to ride that much. It's only few riders that do it, because it's because of insurance. Simply, it's a question about money. If I fall off my horse and break my leg, they're fucked.
Yeah.
First of all, they have to pay me a shitload of money, and they don't want to do that. I don't want to break my leg. And also, the production would have to sort of shut down if they're missing an actor.
Yeah.
Or they have to recast halfway through a season, which is also fucked, So it's really about, you can't cancer in this scene as well. No. Yeah. No, not this one either. No. But you can sit on it and you can ride a little bit,
Yeah.
And then sometimes, you can canter, but only for this scene. It's like, and then some of the actors, like Alex, he's been riding so much.
Yeah.
That he's a trained fucking rider now, and he's the best swordsman there is on the show, because he has so much experience now from just doing fight scene on fight scene on fight scene, knowing how his character fight, knowing how to grab that sword and do all that. So he's perfect at that, because he's just been keep on doing it, working, and he's been riding. So it's obvious that if you're on this show and you play the lead and you're riding every day, you're gonna get good at it.
You're gonna get good.
Point,
Yeah.
And he's pretty good.
Yeah, it seems it. So outside of acting, what other passions do you have?
Well, to write.
Writing, you talked about, right?
Yeah, but music, definitely. I collect like old vinyl records, also new vinyl records.
Cool.
I love the sound of it, and also
it sounds so much better.
Yeah, but also I think it's every like cover of a vinyl is this is like an art piece. And when you just get it on your phone, it's just like this small picture of something, and it's just Spotify or whatever. I don't have Spotify.
Or even if you get like a CD.
Yeah, it's small, but when with a vinyl you open up and it's like, and they put this extra material in it, and also you listen to whole albums. Like you have to turn it and you listen to the whole thing. It's not just singles.
That's a completely different experience than just listening to one song on an album, Yeah,
I like that. I also like buying full albums and buying stuff on iTunes instead of just streaming it or whatever. I like to I think it's paying tribute to the artists. Because they get like, I don't know, half a cent of $1 for every time I listen to a song on Spotify. But if I buy the song, they get the money for that song.
Absolutely.
And I want to do that.
So what type of music do you like?
Oh, I like a lot of music. Good music, I would say.
You like these guys? I don't know if you can see it.
Volbeat. Danish band.
They are.
You want the polite answer or the real answer?
Real answer.
No, I hate Volbeat.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry, but it's and I have no problem with you liking them, but I just think it's too much Elvis trying to make rock.
The only thing. Here's the thing about Volbeat is I've seen it about 3 or 4 times now, but every song and album tends to sound the same. They don't really have a lot of deviation from the one thing that's worked for them. So, but I do enjoy them.
Well, if you're wearing a shirt with Metallica, I would have liked it. I like old school rock. I sang in a heavy metal band at some point. I also sang in a jazz trio, so it's different. But I remember the two guitarists in that heavy band. They wanted me to growl, and I was like, yeah, but then they can't hear my lyrics.
Do the Canoe.
It doesn't make sense. But I like old school rock. I really like singer-songwriter music. I'm a huge fan of the Beatles.
How can you not?
And I like a lot of good music, man. I started out on my Instagram to just when this quarantine started, I just made this album of the day, which was the album I put on my record player when I got up in the morning. So this was what we were listening to at home while making breakfast when I was scrambling eggs for the family or whatever. And I just put that up on my Instagram stories. And then a lot of people just started writing, oh, yeah, I love that album. So just, okay, well, this is the thing. So I've been doing that for some time now. Actually, right now, because of all this Last Kingdom, and also because I'm in this summer house where I don't have my record player, it's on pause. It's like,
gotcha.
Because I think it would be weird to just put up albums I'm not listening to. Like, this is the album of the day. I'm not listening to it right now, but you should, I think.
So is there anything else coming up in the future that we can be excited about that you're able to talk about besides season 4?
Well, probably something you will be excited about, but I can't talk about it.
Okay. Fair enough.
I think there might be some news next week.
Sweet.
And you might be interested in it, or you might not. You don't know. I actually don't know but I've been working on a sort of a big project since August, and there will be some news about that next week, is what I've heard. But
cool. We'll be keeping our eye out for it.
Yeah, you never know. In this Corona times, we're supposed to meet up all the cast for this season premiere, but well, I'm in a cabin in Denmark, and people are quarantined in London, and so it's you can't get it all. Yeah. What are you looking forward to most on this season 4?
Ooh, I don't know. We noticed in the trailer there's like a pretty epic trap that's set, like where those ditches.
Horses are falling in.
I'm excited for some more like high scale stuff like that, I think.
I definitely want to see the battle. I'm definitely ready to see the Dane dynamic that's going on, because it looks like there's that new guy. I'm going to say the name wrong. Strigger.
Yeah, how do you pronounce that?
Is it Trigger?
Well, don't get me started. Sigurður. I think it's. Don't get me started now.
So I'm really, that's what, because the Danes, I think that's really one of that. We love Uhtred, but it was the Danes has really got us into the show, especially season 1. It was Ubba that really got us. The comedy he had. He wasn't, like you said, he wasn't just an axe wielding murderer guy. He had comedy. He had. That's what I'm ready to see. How the Danes are interacting. I want to see the power vacuum since Alfred's left. So that's what I'm excited for.
I'm interested to see how Aelswith's going to whisper in Edward's ear to turn him against Uhtred. So I'm interested in seeing that.
Oh yeah, the Queen, the Queen. Yeah,
it'll be fun. I think the trailer, we haven't read the books all the way, so we don't know what's going to happen this season at all. And I know they don't stay right to the books anyway. But the trailer you
can't follow those. You can't. The books are guidelines, but you can't really.
Right.
You can, because they don't know how they're going to write the scripts anyway. It's developing. It's been a tendency that they do 2 books in one series,
right,
in one season. But if there's something they don't like in the books, they just jump it.
Right.
Because there's stuff that's very important in the books, and it's not even mentioned in the series. So it's like, okay, they didn't like that, or that didn't make sense, or that was too hard to get in. You know, what is his name in season 2? His friend, his guy that gets these drowns.
Halig.
Yeah, he is like 20 people that was following Uhtred.
Oh,
yeah.
Like, there's,
Yeah.
you know, it's like he's condensed into being that guy,
Wow.
because
yeah.
you couldn't have 20 people around Uhtred being his group. So
Right.
it's condensed into that guy, because that makes sense, you know. So that's the way they do it. They've taken a lot of the magic out of the show, and not real magic, but you know, it's
Oh yeah.
when the whole skate like thing, it's kind of real, you know. It's like, yeah, but he's not he's just sick. It's nothing to do with the,
We talk
is it
about
a
it all
curse,
the
is it not a
time.
curse, but it's
Yeah.
it's like, instead of having dragons, you know, it's just like human something.
We talk about it all
And
the time, how like you can have it, they make it seem like from their perspective it could be like mythical or whatever, but like there's also a rational explanation for almost anything that happens on the show. But there's always seems to be like a rational explanation.
Yeah, because it could be that it's because that he saved that kid, but it's also like, we're in the 1800, man. It's,
Yeah.
kids die.
Mhm.
Or
That's
people
just-
died in childbirth all the time, you know.
Yeah.
It's just, that's just facts.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool. It kind of leaves it up though to the viewer's interpretation too. So it's pretty well done how they do it there. Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree.
So what other goals do you have as far as your career goes?
I've had this main goal all the time, that I want to be able to live a happy life, and be able to work and be happy about my work, but also be able to just live well with my family. So I'm not looking out to looking for having a mansion, or like I need a boat, or I need to be on all these posters all over. That's not a dream. If I can keep doing what I'm doing and be happy about that, and not neglecting my family, and making it all work, and not being without money, you know, it's like, if being able to go on a vacation, be able to buy a coffee when I want a coffee, and go out to have dinner at a restaurant, I think that is the main goal.
a great
Obviously,
answer.
if you get more than that, it's cool, but it's I have friends and colleagues that I want to be on the top of that. I want to be in the, and that would be cool. It's not that I don't have ambition to make a big series of that, or be in a big Marvel movie or whatever, but I think stuff happens because they're supposed to happen. If there's a part I don't get, that it was meant for the other guy to get that, and that will create an opening in my calendar for something else. And so I kind of look at life this way as well. It's like, as long as I'm happy, and I'm caring, and I take care of my family, but also try to take care of the world as much as I can, good things will happen. When they need to happen.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff.
And I've been on the barricades for the climate. We finally got this climate law in Denmark with the new government, and we stood every Thursday morning outside the government house, hundreds of people with signs and shit, and talking, just like a protest every Thursday morning.
Wow.
And then, because all the politicians, they had this meeting Thursday morning, they have different meetings in the groups for each lot of different parties in Denmark. It's not like you have the GOP and the Democrats. It's like you have like 12 different parties.
Oh wow.
Oh,
And
cool.
they have to, because then you can choose what you want. You don't have to go with that or that. I think it's important that we look at what we're eating, look at how we're eating, look at what we're drinking, look at how we're spending money, and I know I'm flying. I know I'm doing that, but I'm doing that for work, and I try to ask the companies to do something with if they put me on a flight. I'm drinking water that I filled up from the tap. I'm not.
Yeah.
It's small. It's baby steps. It's bringing your own bottle to set.
It's what you can do individually.
Yeah, and that is it's just getting the small stuff.
Yeah,
absolutely.
There's this clever saying that you don't, as a person, have to change 110% and just go vegan and never fly and only use this one set of clothes and you'd never be on Wi-Fi or whatever, because that's crazy. But if everybody, so instead of one person going 110%, if everybody just do it 30%, that will make a gigantic change. But
point.
People need to do stuff. So it's as I said, small steps, but we need to make all the businesses know that we want something else, because if they see, oh, we can make money on that, let's change production.
Yeah.
Maybe we shouldn't cut down the whole rainforest to make space for more cows. Maybe we could do something else. And that's baby steps, but it's good steps.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for fighting the good fight, man.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Ever had the Impossible Burger?
Viking.
Have you? Yeah.
Ever had like the Impossible Burger? You ever have one of those?
No, I haven't had that, but I've tried like minced meat options, and I think it's good. It's all about seasoning, but it's also all about what else you put in your burger. If you make your own caramelized onions, if you do your own cucumber that you put in vinegar, your own vinegar cucumbers, and you have your own Dijonnaise you put in it, and it is a nice ketchup, and if you use a good cheese and good lettuce and good tomatoes, it's going to be a great burger either way. But if it's just minced meat, ketchup, Cnut, or whatever, mustard, and that's it, then it might not satisfy you. But it's all the ingredients that makes a good burger.
Yeah.
So, but my wife doesn't like it. She's like, "Ugh, I want a real burger or no burger." But then again, she likes to have all kinds of other vegetarian dishes. She's like, then let's make something else than burger, because then you can make. And I do most of the cooking at home.
Oh yeah.
But then you could also make, it's like.
What's your best dish that you make?
I don't know. That's many.
Yeah.
I would recommend a easy one called one-pot pasta.
Okay.
You put all the ingredients in at the same time with the pasta, all ingredients in one pot, and you just make it. It takes 15 minutes, and it's wonderful. But
sounds like I
make
do that.
Yeah. I think you could fuck that up. Yeah. No, but I don't know. I love making falafel. That's nice. Cool. And I like Italian food.
Nice.
But I like to experiment. Just whatever I have, I can make stuff out of nothing.
So how about this? If you had one meal left on this planet, one meal left in your life, what would you pick? You could have it served to perfection.
That's a good question. One meal served to perfection. I don't know. There's so many good dishes.
Yeah.
I think I would probably go with some crazy pasta.
Yeah, I think I would too.
Maybe actually my own spaghetti carbonara.
Nice. Okay. We've got had a great conversation with you. We really appreciate you coming on and talking with us and giving us some insight behind the show, behind yourself and Cnut, really. So thank you for that.
Yeah, it was a great talk.
Cool. It was nice. And it's nice to talk to people in this time, these COVID-19 times.
But it's been great talk with Magnus Bruun here today. Great talk with Magnus Bruun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, nice to chat to you guys, and would love to give you a high five and a hug and all that, but that will have to. We'll have to wait.
Yeah.
I don't know. Social
We'll definitely
distancing?
take the hug though after the quarantine's over.
And we are very excited to see Cnut kick some butt, we think, in season 4. We'll see, but it looks like he's going to have some savage moments. We're excited.
Yeah.
Well, you'll never know.
Yeah, we'll never know.
Yeah, so
So-
everyone out there, if you're listening to this and you want to know more about Magnus Bruun, you can find him on social media at Instagram and Twitter, correct? We'll link it down below. Check out his IMDb, everything he's in. You can see him this Sunday on Netflix as Cnut in The Last Kingdom. Great show. Great to have him on today. As always, stay with the Screen Chronicles here. Steve and Colby. You can find this if you're watching on YouTube. You can find us on podcasts. If you're on podcasts, you can watch it on YouTube. And we can see all of our pretty faces and Magnus's full beard here. So definitely check it out. Great one, guys. Have a good one.
See you guys, and have a drink with me. Cheers.
Cheers.